This is Rich Fregosa for avnetwork.com here at InfoComm 2022 in quite balmy Las Vegas. I'm here with Vince Schuster, who is the Commercial VP for Professional Displays. Vince, great to see you. Glad we're on the show floor.
It's fantastic. Thanks for coming along and have an opportunity to speak with you.
Well, we've had a great time. We had an opportunity to see some of you in Barcelona. Now we're here stateside. I just have to start in the beginning at this point with, there's been some big announcements that have opened the show with, and but not just products, because everybody has a product announcement.
Absolutely.
But you've got some significant business updates that, let's just cut to it and let's just talk about it. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I know, it's exciting even to talk about. So essentially we are TPV. So TPV is the largest LCD manufacturer globally. So from that standpoint, we have tremendous resources. So those resources are now being implemented into North America. So on a global basis, we are number 2 or number 3 typically within other geographies, excuse me. So what we're also trying to do is also emulate here in North America. So the Philips brand is quite well known, as we've had a tremendous amount of people that have come to our booth here, as well as you mentioned, ISE. So I was also there. So we have really come out to the market. So what are we doing? What is the business that you're asking about? We are investing in resources. The resources has been also in our products as well as in our people. So here in North America, just in the past 6 months, we've almost doubled the amount of headcount. So those are the amount of people that are on my staff here in North America. That's number 1. And number 2, if I go to the products, we continue to introduce new products. So we just launched a software platform, which is called Wave. And Wave is interactive with our Philips displays to allow for the customer, the system integrator, to be able to do remote monitoring of the displays, and also on the front end be able to deploy from a single incident in the cloud anywhere on the planet. So it's really exciting for those people that have large deployments or have a large stable, as we'll say, of the Philips displays. Secondarily, also, I mentioned before about the people. What we're doing is being very selective and what I'll call top talent within the industry. So we have some people that have come on with 20 plus years of experience in this business that has come to these types of shows, whether it's ISE or it's InfoComm, and brought them on board. At that point, there's instant credibility in those terms, in terms of the relationships that are already established. So we hit the market running very quickly in that respect. So that's number 1. And number 2 is, it's not just the people that are sales facing, it's also our back end.
Right.
So having a parent company that is so well entrenched in the business from a manufacturing standpoint. So throughout the pandemic, we've been able to keep supply chain to the channel consistent. Not only that, we have incredible capability, whether it's bargaining power with the suppliers, because we are building for the industry. And secondarily, I will go back to the fact that we're investing in other areas, whether it be into our ERP systems, whether it be into our back-end support, whether it's supply chain, technical support. So you're going to see a different Philips here in North America as we continue to grow. We're calling it hypergrowth.
That's fantastic. And one of the things to talk about this is that the best part about it is obviously internally it's going to create that new culture that you're creating, and you're talking about top talent. Basically streamlining everything to become the best company you could be. But what's that going to mean to your customers, your dealers, everybody who obviously you're going to be servicing? Yeah,
that's great to hear. I mean, your excitement is coming to me, so I will really reinforce that. So what's going to happen? We talk about customers. Our customer is anybody that's our distribution partner, our SIs, our system integrators, okay? The end user. The end user journey for us is what's most important. So that's support, that's whether something goes wrong with the unit, and we're very quickly to be able to take care of that. All of our products have a 3-year warranty. We do an advanced replacement. So they already know about that. But the idea behind it is that we have the stock to be able to fulfill that when something happens. Secondarily is the solutions package. So we're not just a display anymore. I'll talk about some of the displays as well that were really exciting here, but bringing the solution of the software gives you an end-to-end Philips experience. So I would say that's probably one of our biggest strengths at this point.
Well, and that's end-to-end, you know, and again,
Yep.
as you're talking about, the structuring of the company, it starts with the people. You've now got, you know, for lack of a better term, that ecosystem that you're now building that brings all of your displays together, which leads to the next logical part and the question that I'm going to ask you. There's some pretty cool product announcements as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I kind of spilled the beans before in talking about our Wave platform. That's really exciting because, again, if you have the hardware and you have to roll trucks every time you need to check the health of the display or whatever it may be, anyone who has done managed services understands it's much more efficiency. So I'm going to go into other products that are not software related, back to our display business. So behind us, there's a display there. We just introduced these displays, but it's in our X line. So we now go from 49-inch, 55-inch, X line, meaning it's our thin bezel LCD. And if you see the image, it has amazing uniformity from corner to corner. But what's unique about the display behind us is it's a 65-inch. At this point, we believe we're the only 65-inch that's in the business that's able to provide it. When we look at the display right now, each one of those displays on a 2x2 are native 4K.
Wow.
So we have a partner here, Atmosphere, who has created content in native 8K. On the show floor, I don't think there's a display that has that tight of pixel pitch anywhere on the floor, here or at ISE, by the way. So we also, beyond this, I'm looking back just to see maybe the camera view, but not only that, but we do direct view LED. So we've introduced a new series called the 6000 series. That series took a long time. It's designed in-house and built by TPV. And what that allows for us to do is to take the knowledge from the industry, we survey the customers and find out what are your biggest pain points. And what we do is we address it. So installation, serviceability. We have captured every bit of the, let's call it the pain points, and been able to give a very easy to install and manage system in terms of maintenance. And then from there, not only that, but we also have incredible uniformity. So anybody that's listening about uniformity that goes with video wall can appreciate that.
I feel a little bit that you kind of underplayed the sheer amount of work that you've taken to get to this point. And so, you know, it was a momentous undertaking. And so I think for me, you know, and I think for you, it ought to be a moment to be kind of proud about the effort that went into it. And like, just take a couple of seconds and just talk about kind of the key undertakings it took to bring this all together.
Yeah, well, that's a really great question. So in our PD business, the business that I'm the team leader for, we have two divisions. We have one is the professional display, that's more the InfoComm type of an environment. We also have hotel TV. So there's two parallel businesses that we're growing. I mentioned hypergrowth before. So what we do is we look at the business and we make sure that we have the right people in the right places. So when I have limited resources earlier, before we started to hire on all these different ones, there might be somebody who's a specialist in hotel and maybe wasn't necessarily positioned well if they were potentially doing the other business. So we are really focused not just on the growth, but making sure the right people are in the right places. So even myself coming on, to be able to come in and be somebody who's been a veteran, maybe not my age-wise, but we'll just say someone that's been in this business for a very long time, and we're emulating that as well in terms of the hires. So if we go to our accounting people, we're taking people that are veteran in that particular field in finance, or our sourcing as well, so that we make sure that we have the right people that understand and can allow us for the sustainability of that growth trajectory.
That's great. Well, obviously, congratulations on the results of all of this great work.
Thank you very much.
Obviously, we'd love to see everybody here at the show floor. That would be the best place to find out about PPDS. But let's just say that they can't make it to the show floor and here at InfoComm. How can they find out more about PPDS and everything that you guys have been working on? Obviously the products, but just the company itself. I'm not even going to call it a resurgence. You're just elevating your game.
That's a great way to play it. So, Rich, I appreciate it. I mean, PPDS. If you go to the URL, it's www.ppds.com. From there, you'll be able to see our products. You'll be able to communicate with us, and then secondarily, if you look up Philips, InfoComm, you will see a tremendous amount of social media that's surrounding these types of conversations. And then please do reach out to us. I'm sure you can find me on LinkedIn if you haven't already connected with me, or any of our staff members as well.
Fantastic. Well, Vince, I really appreciate you taking the time. If you want to find out more about PPDS, you can find it on the website. If you want to find out more about AV Network, all of the shows and services that they provide, you can find it on their website, also including their InfoComm coverage. You can find that at avnetwork.com. This is Rich Fregosa for avnetwork.com.